Hello to my Libras and happy birthday to my Libras. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading. Libra, these readings are timeless, but it is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. So you can watch this video 10, 11 months from now, and it'll feel like a prediction for a lot of you all, because time is relative, right? And so you could be going through some things right now where you just feel like, okay, I just need some clarity. I need answers. I need clarity. I'm not really sure. And so it says, good. I'm glad you asked. I'll use an unlikely source to get you the answers that you're seeking. You know, that you may be seeking to some things that's happening. Could be happening, could have already happened. Remember, time is relative, so some things could have already happened, you know, in your life. And you could be still kind of sort of in that discovery phase, trying to figure out like what's going on. You know, where are we in all of this, you know, so on and so forth. So those would be questions that you could be asking of source. That's why I'm seeing the Tower card here. And so you want to pay attention to all the messages that are coming through, right? Pay attention to all the messages that are coming through. You are an air sign. The moon is currently in Virgo. So somebody should be in hermit mode right now. Should be, right? So remember, all of it's working together. Mind, body, and soul, all working together. So you want to make sure that, let me put some of this awakening oil on here as I am preparing for your reading. That's part of the preparation process. Third eye. You can find this oil on my website. Go to queenamunra.com. You'll be able to see shop now. It'll take you to my Etsy store and all these other things. But let's focus on your reading, right? So I'm sending everybody lots of love and light. Again, happy birthday to you all. I have a gift for you all that's out of my Etsy store. We have lapis lazuli stone here for one person. We have a pyrite stone for one person. We have pink tourmaline right here for someone. And then we have a moonstone for you all. So, right. We have moonstone and rose quartz, so that'd be 5. So the first 5 people who send me a text message, the gift will be yours. The first 5 people, but remember, this is all out of my store, so I've already cleansed them in the sunlight, and so this is my birthday gift to you all, or whoever's tuned in. You can even be a cross watcher that's just kind of sort of tuning in, right? What I picked up from your reading as I was praying over your cards here is somebody could be, whether it's spiritual court or actual court, right? There's some people that you've had their backs in the past, but they turned around and stabbed you in the back, right? Because they believe something that they heard about you, that you got away with something, you know, in the sexual sense. And they are bitter. They're angry. You've had their back and they haven't had yours. In other words, for one, you are rule 7th house, right? And so 7th house is all about relationships, right? So what Libras have to keep in mind is that unless a person really, really knows themselves, I mean, like they've really studied their birth chart, like they know what sets them apart from every other zodiac, even if it's the same zodiac sign. A lot of people don't believe in birth charts. They don't believe in that kind of stuff. They just say, oh, let me just say team Libra. But obviously you're not like every other Libra. I mean, that's obvious, right? Some Libras feel like they need to be in a relationship in order to survive. And then you got some Libras that are quite independent and they're like, they've already tried it. You know, they keep somehow attracting the wrong energies because they're around people who are open enemies. They're saying, oh, you all look good together. They're just looking at surface. So you had their back 10 toes down, you had their back, but they really bought into something. They were sitting around a group of people. They really believed the way that you climbed the ladder was through some unhealthy sexual practices, right? And so they decided to jump on the bandwagon. Something is closed out. Something is already closed out. They believe that you sexed your way to the top, right? And the extended version of this video is going to be over on the Patreon side for those of you all who follow me there. So they really believe that that's how you made your way to the top, when really you're going through constant rebirth after rebirth after rebirth, meaning that certain things you're not willing to do to reach the top of the ladder. Snakes do have a spine, right? So somebody say, oh, you're a spineless snake. This is how you really, really got promoted. This is how you got to the top of wherever your industry is, government, textile, entertainment, sports, whatever, right? But really you said, you know what, you move on before you would do certain things, right? So somebody is now in hermit mode. Somebody who actually believes something is now in hermit mode, and a light is turning on for them. That guess what? You were born a star. You were born a star, right? People who are born a star, they're like, okay, certain things you're not going to compromise in order to get to the top of a ladder. Somebody is a prayer warrior here. Looking at your cards here, you're a prayer warrior. And so two people blindsided a loved one, you know, during your Saturn return. Saturn return is a major life cycle. So whoever these so-called friends and family members are who really would believe that you would sleep your way to the top of whatever industry that you're in, because somebody heard that you were thriving behind closed doors. Usually with the 10 of swords, a person has 10 swords in their back. Somebody had to use one person to deliver that last sword wound in your back that would throw you off of your star, throw you off of your balance, right? And so for that, you may forgive that one last person because somebody felt like, okay, we got it. They were determined. Somebody was literally obsessed. Was hidden in the Seven of Cups, because it connects us with Scorpio, is Judgment and also the Tower card, right? So somebody's having a horrible Tower moment right now because they were so obsessed and they were so dead set on proving that you're doing something sexual behind closed doors that they're now having a Tower moment. But what it really exposed, what the devil exposed, is people's demons first to themselves, right? Then it shines a light outward. So basically with the reason why somebody was so determined, because they were like, I can't believe, it's almost like somebody was in a competition with you. That's what you're missing here. And this right here, Aries and Scorpio are ruled by the Tower card, which is Mars. Instead of somebody praying for you, instead of jumping to conclusions, instead of them praying for you, Libra, whoever you are, they went directly into competition. What do they have that I don't have that they can get to the top before I get to the top? Unfortunate. That's unfortunate that somebody would even think that. And 9 times out of 10, it was probably your same gender. 9 times out of 10, it was the same gender. If you're a woman, they went right in. It was women that just went straight in. What does Libra have over me that, you know, so I got to send this one last person in to deliver this blow to their back, right? Somebody like like I said, a loved one, someone who's very close to you, somebody you would never suspect that would be causing. And usually it's the person that's sick to their, it makes them sick to their stomach to even have to do that, because they've actually witnessed real time you working hard for where you want. I got to remind you all, y'all are a divine masculine zodiac sign, but you're ruled by feminine planet Venus. It's not difficult for things to come to you. You and Taurus are both ruled by Venus, but Venus rules Libra and Taurus differently, right? So some energy, 3 energies was hidden here. You got 3 energies here. Started this whole mess that you did something sexual to reach the top, and they were going to bully whoever this last sword was to find out, you know, if you really had all this sexcapades going on behind closed doors, which is unfortunate. So you have either ended it already with these energies. Some of these energies will try to call you back, like on the humble, trying to be slick, trying to wiggle their way back into your life. But your intuition has already picked up on something, right? So let's talk about this new moon. We are still in the new moon phase. Hopefully everybody is relaxing. Hopefully you're resting, you know, processing the last cycle, which was a full blood moon on the same day as a total lunar eclipse. And total lunar eclipses can remind you of ancestral and childhood traumas. And so you don't need to be traumatized anymore. You need to learn how to use your sword very wisely. Current energy is this right here, right? Your card. So this is going to be a week about, you know, balancing truth, karmic balancing truth. And also spirit asks you to stand in integrity as cosmic scales are recalibrated right now. So, you know, and so the challenge would be the 7 of Cups. The challenge is clarity, and so many choices or illusions may cloud your path. The eclipse dissolve confusion, revealing truth, right? So you could be a person that's pretty free-spirited when it comes to intimate relations, but if you're an adult, that's your business, right? Somebody was but what somebody was trying to prove is that you were doing something illegal, okay? Like prostitution, put the P and the R where it belongs. But like they were saying that you were doing something, you were selling that, right? Horrible, horrible, horrible. And these are people who actually know you. These are people who know you, people who say that they love you, sit around and believe this crap about you. So no, nope. Use the sword, right? So here you are in hermit mode, and you're probably a person who is a homebody anyway, whoever you are. If you were born a star, you're probably a homebody anyway. You know, you may have learned very early on, unless there's a purpose for going outside. Maybe you're supporting someone else who is a star, or you're doing something, working or whatever. You probably are a hermit anyway, probably a homebody. And what's interesting about this is that another hermit was on team hate. This is what's interesting about this. So at your root is wisdom gained in solitude. And so the Virgo moon encourages reflection and spiritual grounding before moving forward. What Source was doing was basically telling somebody who could have prayed for you and who may have even have been a part of your soul tribe or soul circle, or you could have been a part of theirs. Like it could have just kind of sort of overlapped a little bit, but no, somebody went right into, because of remember, water is shaped and guided by the earth that surrounds it. So it's really the people that they're around. It's really the people that they're around. Still, you're not giving them a pass to, you know, be in your energy field. Yeah. Like I said, you're not harshly judging anybody, but for somebody to possibly go to actual court, right, and create something, because that's what water is. It's creativity. Somebody created something that you were doing something illegal and stabbed you in the back. They created something. More than likely it's an ex. More than likely it's an ex that's bitter, that's hurt, that's upset, jumped to some kind of conclusions about something because you're thriving behind closed doors, and got people on the bandwagon. And usually people find each other that's on a particular frequency. See this snake right here, some kind of residual of something. So the snake is sliding away. Something about your relationship with them was just not nurturing at all. It just wasn't nurturing. Maybe they weren't. And I'm being, I can be a little bit more direct on the Patreon side, but maybe y'all just weren't compatible. Maybe y'all just weren't compatible. I'll just put it that way, right? So so they went into stabbing you in the back. So that's what this is, right? The Ten of Swords is a cycle of endings that has shaped your path. And so painful closures have prepared you for the rebirth the eclipse now ushers in. And because you have a person, when I look at the Tower card, who feels like something is their way or the highway, somebody is just determined to prove that the way that you got to become a star, and remember, star is not celebrity, just so we're crystal clear. A star is somebody, your 11th house. Aquarius rules 11th house, right? Obviously, we're talking about another air sign. You're a Libra. But if you were born a star, like, you know that you were meant to shine in dark spaces, like to offer hope to people. Some people learn that very early on, right? You could have been a very compassionate person, very nurturing, very, you know, you may have seen people who have been talked down to. You're like, no, there's greatness in you. If I can do this, you can do it too. Like on that level, no respecter of person. And so what's unfortunate about this really is that this group of energies got somebody who was really willing to analyze with precision, top to bottom, your daily schedule, like what you do on a daily basis, your work, your health records, all of this, breaking into stuff illegal. They did something illegal. That's why justice is in your favor. They did something illegal because there's no way. They had to first look at themselves. This is a mirroring spirit. They had to first look at themselves and go, oh, I look better than that person. I'm smarter than this person. They literally went down 7 things that they were better than you were. They were willing to break a law in order to find out something, right? So it's all coming out now. It's all, you're divinely protected, but it's now coming out because people are having a tower moment. 16 Tower card is a 16 card, which is 7. It's everything that they said about you is now coming out about them. This is instant karma. Everything they said about you is coming out about them, because you can't start some kind of investigation and try to prove that somebody's into some kind of prostitution or something like that without people looking at you as well. Like, okay, why are people so dead set and so obsessed with proving something about this person? And so if okay, we're not seeing any of that. We're not seeing any of that. So some of you all may have even noticed that if you live in an apartment complex or condo or whatever, even if you live in a home, and you know, people say, hey, go send this person over there and see if they're into such and such and such and such, because somebody illegally looked through your stuff and they weren't supposed to, obviously, if it's illegal, right? Now people are looking at them because they almost like they have to make something true, but it was coming from an ego place. It was coming from a fleshly place. I look better, I'm smarter, I have higher ranking, you know, in the spiritual realm or in the physical realm, or, you know, I have better credentials. I mean, it's actually pretty sad. So like I said before, your conscious influence is that you consciously seek hope, healing, and divine guidance, and spirit reassures you that your light is guiding you towards alignment, right? And so the death card, you know, transformation lies ahead. And so the eclipse actually cleared away what no longer serves you, making room for rebirth and higher, you know, higher alignment. And so, like I said, this could have been a person that you could have y'all probably have a lot in common. This is what really makes the situation pretty sad, is that it's a person that you probably had a lot in common with, and y'all could have had a lot of connection, like connected each other with a lot of different things, especially since you all are ruled by Venus and things just come to you. But for them to make this bold, because before we get to 7 of Cups, you got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6 of Cups also connects us with Scorpio. 5 of Cups connects us with Scorpio. We're not necessarily talking about a Scorpio. So basically, somebody saw you crying or lamenting over something. That could have been a death of a loved one, right? Or death of something, end of a cycle of whatever. Crying over, you know, a marriage, or crying over your kids, you know, not getting into a particular college. Somebody could just be, well, you got tear ducts, right? So you could have been crying over something, lamenting over something. Then you got the 6 of Cups, somebody basically saying you don't look like what you've been through. It's almost like you're in a zombified state when you come out the house, like a person who is checked out. How the heck would they know if they don't know you? They're just going by what they heard, people stabbing you in the back in the courthouse, and they just sitting there in a zombified mode themselves, like, I'm listening to myself. I've got to kill that part of myself, because that's what they're doing. That's what they're really saying. I got to end that part of myself, and I don't want anything that could possibly connect, because like the term goes, real recognize real, fake recognizes fake, all of that stuff. If you were previously in that type of, I'm not putting that term on anybody, and there's no judgment whatsoever, but if you were previously like a person who's a free spirited energy, you know, and somebody is still ashamed of maybe who they haven't closed out cycles with themselves, it's almost like, it's not even almost like a person said they got to end that part of themselves. And if they see, it's like a person who hates themselves. It really is. It's like a person who's saying, you know, I hate myself so much. Anything that even resembles that part of my lifestyle, I got to end it. So no, there is no hooking up, being friends, no nothing. Somebody got to deal with this, whoever they are. So yeah, so the Tower card here is, well, your perception. Somebody didn't like a perception of themselves, right? They didn't like something about themselves. So you see yourself as discerning and clear. Spirit affirms your ability to cut through illusions and speak your truth. Yeah. So the Tower card here, you know, external changes may feel sudden, and these shifts are divinely timed. And so Spirit is restructuring your foundation to align with truth. Yeah. You want every single person that stood in a courtroom and said this about you, you want the same kind of discovery into their background that they did for you. The same exact, because whoever was holding this last sword in your back, I can assure you that this person is devastated, or was at least one time devastated to even hear, because they were blindsided. They were blindsided. Every single person that was holding this sword, you want an extensive background check on them. Every single one of them. Here's the World card. Completion and integration. A karmic cycle closes as you step into wholeness, harmony, and new chapter of spiritual growth. So Libra, this reading really highlights cosmic balances, and it also the new moon in this Virgo, and the moon is still in Virgo. We had a new moon on the 21st, but it's still in Virgo if you're watching this on the 23rd. It really helps you refine your path, while the solar eclipse cleared away illusions, and it opened the door to transformation. Trust the process, embody balance, and step into higher truth. Sending you lots of love, light, and blessings. Like I said, a lot of times men and women cannot have healthy relationships with each other because they haven't ended that part of themselves. They haven't really been delivered from, they can't rise above judgment of other people judging them. They can't break away from these friendship cycles. That's what this number 8 here. It's like an infinity symbol on this death card. It's hard for them to break these chains and say, you know what, I don't need to go around these people that's judging me. You would have extended grace and mercy and would have actually, so that, hey, there's greatness in you. Why are you still hanging around people? Like, what are you trying to prove? Like, why are you still hanging around certain people who are sitting around judging who you dated, who you were married to, who you have kids about? Like, what? You would have, whoever you are, you would have been a voice of reason, because again, you all are very fair-minded zodiac signs. So no, somebody would go to that length to break, cross boundaries by getting someone that you love. And I'm telling y'all, they was devastated to even have to even do it. Somebody felt horrible to even do it. These people were this cold-blooded. But I'm telling y'all, this is an ex-friends, ex-love interest. It having something having to do with intimacy. Somebody felt some kind of way, and they wanted to just stick it to you in whatever way possible. So, and who did they get? Somebody who was who'd be easily just going along with the flow. So here we have, trust your first mind. Trust your first mind. Somebody apologizes for hurting you. Apology accepted. Access denied. You have the gift of clairaudience. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You heard somebody sound like they were crying. They sound like they were drunk or under some kind of influence. You heard a different tone to their voice because that's what they were being told to do. You need to stick it to them. We need your last sword to make this thing rock. And guess what? So it's all becoming clear to you now. You're dealing with a very bitter Betty. So here we have open your vault door, and we talking about man and woman. So pray for them. Yeah, so somebody is not happy without you. Yeah, ask source for clarity here. Let go and let God. Toss something into a burning bowl. And I do sell burning bowls also as well. But don't forget that rest is a form of self-care. Yeah, rest is a form of self-care. Your laughter is medicine. These are the types of spirits, just so we're crystal clear, Libra, that would create any justification for why they did what they did to you. So, for example, I'm reading cards, right, and I channel energy. So I go all the way down to the lowest frequency to help bring you back up to a higher frequency to remind you that you're a star. These are the types of spirits that they don't want to face their own temptations, so much so it's like hurting you is going to end something within them. So they're going to do it to death. They're gonna take it to the max because it's something about themselves they haven't resolved. So they're going to do it to death. They're going to do it to the max. And if they can't get to you, they're going to get to somebody that you love, because emotionally there's a connection there. So you'll feel what they're going through. Time to do a sacral chakra cleanse. No, you're not being friends with these people, and no, you are not reconnecting with the certain family members. So there are, it can be in spirit. So yeah, Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice. You don't need to go anywhere near these energies. It's somebody say it's basically somebody wants you to think that something is not as deep as they think. Yeah, it's not deep for you because source is handling. There's no karma is being served fast, and it's being served hard. Somebody wanted to put it into you instantly because they don't like something about themselves. This is different than a person saying, okay, they got a nose job, or they got their eyelids raised, or maybe they got collagen injection in their lips or whatever. Okay, do you? Nobody's talking about somebody, wanting to. That's where you have, you've already decided, okay, you want to change something about yourself. Maybe you got money to do it or whatever the case may be. But these energies literally took something to the max. Like, these are the types of energies that will use an elderly person, whether it's your parents, somebody who's just like kind of already in retirement mode. They ain't thinking about none of that stuff. They'll use anybody that they can victimize. Your kids, anybody. Oh, well, how many people do they have over there, over the house at a certain amount of time? They'll force a person to call you and talk about something you probably forgot about years ago. And you're just like, oh, okay, well, what? You're not even, you ain't angry. You can almost tell in the person's voice, like, okay, you're not even talking, because you're just like, okay, well, what's really going on? And somebody's terrified to even tell you what's going on. So they take that kind of casual, nonchalant, oh, okay, there must be some truth behind it. Obsessed. New love awaits. Cut every last one of these people off. Every last one of them. I can't say it no clearer than that. Cut them all off. Because these are people who have your number, and if they were able to get to the person who was holding the last sword, the bare minimum, they could have asked that person what your number was. Bare minimum, they could have asked the person what your number was. That's why you're not, And y'all are a fair-minded sign. Cut them off. Cut them off. That sounds cold to some people, but the only way your star is going to kind of continue to shine bright, there are people out here that want to hear from you. It's because it's you, whoever you are, it's because it's you. You recognize that you were born a star. And I have to reiterate this, is that we are not talking about celebrity. Everybody is celebrated in their own way, right? But in all humility, when people start believing that in ego, right, they're better than somebody else, so much so that they turn their nose up and look down on other people. You don't want to be connected with that group anyway, whoever they are. You don't want to be connected with people that's like that anyway. Somebody was ruthless. So nah, let them be ruthless. Let them bark. Let their arms see them, that their arms are too short to box with swords. Let them see that. Because karma is always served cold. And you can't go nowhere on planet Earth without, you can't escape it. You can't escape it. You don't need to look back to see any kind of karma happening to them. No, nothing. You don't need to look at none of it. Don't even listen. You're too busy inspiring other people and raising your frequency. So yeah, these, like I said, these are the type of energies. They look for you to say anything, especially if you have a platform like YouTube or TikTok or whatever. You say anything, because they're always trying to justify for why they did what they did, instead of looking in a freaking mirror and saying, okay, you know what, man, you know, I need to look at myself. I've outgrown this crowd of people. All they do is sit around and talk about who slept with whom and who's doing this and who's doing that, how people raise, and something about them don't feel bad. Like, they don't even realize that people talking about them in their face. So it's saying, listen, that's not your crowd. That is not your crowd, Libra. So, like I said, happy birthday to each and every one of you all. I do have 5 stones here, and I do have more, but I haven't just listed them yet. But it's like, this is lapis lazuli, this is pink tourmaline, this is pyrite, and I do have the information about them on my, you know, this is, yeah, well, I have moonstone and pink rose quartz. So I have both of those. So we got 5 stones. First 5 people, my number is 202-460-3205. We're going to take it over onto the Patreon side, but yeah, don't give these energies any, if somebody would literally go to court and say that you're into some kind of, you know, porn, I mean, you know, corn, or, you know, like X work, y'all know, S, whatever. Any kind of work in order for you to become a star, like, come on, y'all, like, for real. If people are out here doing that, then, hey, that's on them. You're not judging them for whatever. You just don't know what people have got going on behind closed doors. But it's this 10 of swords right here, this last sword, and what people were ruthlessly willing to do, that's going to end up damaging somebody else's mental health. I feel like for you all, because you're ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics, you're dealing with such a ruthless bully here, 2 ruthless bullies here, that whoever that third energy is, if they needed that last sword to go in your back, they may need some mental health services after what they've done. And so, no, it's going to be a big no. It's going to be a strong no. And if legally, like I said, sources already handle something, it's going to be quick justice. It's already quick justice, because you're just that focused. If you stay on this channel, I'll make sure you stay focused, because we're not playing those kind of games. Here, toss it into a burning bowl and get your rest. Get your rest. You want quick justice. These people wanted to end you that bad because they don't want to look in the mirror at themselves. Then guess what? You want quick justice. new love awaits for you. Talking to you over Libras in your birth chart. I'll see you over on the Patreon side. Thank you for joining me here. Bye.